Keep yourself in check and your ego with this one realization. You'll see yourself grow like you never have before. All right, check it out. Police stop behind me. Who knows why? Is this 0.5? It is. On my way back, just now, on my way home, I realized this one thing. So this one realization that I'm talking about is basically that you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. And you're probably like, all right, well, I already knew that, or it sounds pretty general. Sometimes in a situation, you might realize that something's at play. And what I mean by that is maybe somebody thinks of you less than you know yourself of. So maybe somebody thinks, oh, this guy's stupid, this guy's an idiot, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And I mean, obviously not a stranger. I mean, like, let's take an example, like something like you're in a club. Let's say you're in a badminton club. And then maybe some of the people, you're just joining the thing and you're like goofing around. And some of you guys, they think, oh, this guy's like an idiot, this guy's like an idiot. But deep down, you might know yourself. Deep down, you know yourself, like, you know you're not an idiot. You know, like, you have smart. And this is not really like something that happened to me recently, but because it sounds like it could be, but literally any situation. So it could be you're in school and some person, they think you're an idiot or they just think you're a clown. And basically the idea is they have some kind of assumption about you that's not true. They think you're cringe, they think you're whatever, they think you're not funny. It doesn't matter. And you know that's not true about yourself, but you know this person thinks of you that way. So this person has a wrong assumption about you. When somebody has an assumption about you that's not right and you know it's not true, like this person thinks I'm an idiot, I know I'm not an idiot. That's a very easy example. The biggest realization you can have is realizing that you don't need to care that this person has this assumption about you. Like, literally, if the person was important or mattered, they'd bring it up to you, or they would already know that's not who you are, or they would know like that you are actually funny, you are actually smart, whatever. So you gotta give basically less of a shit to the people who don't know. Like, you gotta realize, and you gotta hold your ego back, and you gotta keep yourself in check and be like, okay, I don't need to prove that I am this thing to this person. Because if you were actually that thing, let's say funny, you don't need to tell them, yo, no, I actually am funny, Just keep being you, keep doing yourself, and this person either will eventually realize, oh, this person's actually pretty cool. This person actually is kind of funny. Or they won't, and so what? They'll go on to live their life, they'll keep making these assumptions in life about other people, and I'll be honest, they're gonna probably have some kind of midlife crisis at some point. I've been saying that a lot recently about other people, but like, it's low-key true. They're gonna realize like one day, like, oh shit, bro, I had all these assumptions about people, wasn't even true. And usually if it's something like, oh, I don't think this person's that funny, then clearly they care about themselves. They care about being funny too much to the point where they're noticing it in other people. It also comes back to the idea that when you judge somebody, this is for your own self to understand, but also to understand that other people, when other people judge you, most of the time, I wanna say 99.99% of the time, they're projecting their own insecurities on you. And you've probably heard that before, so let's just dissect what that means real quick. That person, they project judgment on you. Oh bro, that person, easy one. Oh, that person's hair looks so weird. Maybe they're just thinking that, maybe they don't say it out loud, but they're thinking, oh, I judge that person because their hair's so weird. They must be like a loner or some shit. So then they're immediately, you probably the easiest thing you can understand about that person is that person cares way too much about their hair, way too much about how they look, and way too much about the opinions of others on them, because hair is something other people usually see. Now, obviously, someone like me, I also care how my hair looks. I want to look good. We're humans. We want to look good. It's a social hierarchy kind of thing. Makes sense. But if you can't hold yourself back, if you're too like lost in the whole race that literally you don't even realize that you having that judgment reflects on you. And that's all to say that there's like judgment that you might not realize you have. All right, give me a second. So basically what I'm saying is this realization, these are two realizations now. The one at the beginning, which is about realizing that you don't have to prove yourself and who you are to other people who don't believe that about you. And the second one, realization, is the judgment part, where literally, this is important for you to know, if you ever really catch yourself in the act of judging someone, whether out loud or in your head, it's a good point of reflection and be like, okay, clearly I judged them for this, it made me assume something about them. It's something that you can learn about yourself. Maybe you care too much about how other people look or how you look to other people. Like, let's say it's the hair example, whatever it is. It could be, this person, they walk funny. Clearly you think too much about how you walk. Or this person, they don't have yourself for judgment and learn more about yourself. But the thing about the keep yourself in check so you can see yourself grow is the moment, it all comes also come down to confidence. If you, like, think about confidence, like, you don't have to prove your confidence to anybody, because true confidence is, you don't have to prove it to anybody that you're confident. Being confident is just being yourself. Like, I think confidence gets overlooked too much, like, how simple it is. Like, literally, all confidence is you're able to do what you want to do in the moment, regardless of external stimulus. So, and I'm not saying, like, I'm a confident person, and I'm not saying that, like, somebody who's confident is always gonna be confident. You know, there's ups and there's yin and yang to everything. But if you, I've got to press the bell here. But it links to confidence, because if you think about it, let's say confidence is the thing. You know you're a confident individual, okay? You don't have to go showing other people you're a confident individual. It doesn't make you a confident person. But if you see yourself, if somebody's like, somebody looks at you and they probably, and you can maybe somehow you can tell this person doesn't think you're a confident person. You don't have to be like, yo, bro, no, I am confident. Don't use your words to show people who you are. Use your actions. So never mind them. Don't worry about trying to prove to them that you're a confident person. Just carry on being confident. You know what I mean? So the realization here, and what it is that you need to keep yourself in check, is I think it's in our human nature to want to thank you. I think it's in our human nature to want to, like, prove people wrong and be right. It makes sense if you think about it in terms of a survival of the fittest mindset. So basically, when you catch yourself wanting to really eagerly show somebody that, no, I actually am confident, no, I actually am funny, no, I actually am this is actually true about me, realize that it's not that important. Realize that the way you show that that's actually who you are is by not needing to prove it to that person. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful, and I just explained it, but yeah, two realizations. The thing about keeping your ego, that's a middle finger right there. The thing about keeping your ego in check and yourself in check to see yourself grow, because you're gonna be more true to yourself and you're gonna feel like you don't have to prove it to anybody. And the second thing is the judging thing. People only judge people, when people judge each other, including yourself, so it's important to use this as a tool. You're usually projecting your own insecurities and flaws, you could say, as a person. Very important. Now, one last thing I want to add, links back to the first one about being true to yourself, is if somebody, let's say somebody close to you, somebody who's important to you, you know they value you and you value them. Your relationship, yeah, let's say a close friend, a real close friend. Let's stay in the light here. Let's say they bring something up to you about, yo, bro, I think you lack a bit of confidence, or yo, bro, I think now that's different. When that person's opinion matters because you know they know who you are, then you can usually take what they're saying a bit more than just a grain of salt. You can actually usually listen to what they have to say because usually it's valid, they know who you are, there's some knowledge in that. But when it comes from somebody who doesn't know who you are, hold yourself back from the temptation of wanting to prove them wrong that yes, you are that person. Because you don't be that person by telling others you're that person. You be that person by doing the things and the behaviors that align with being that person, if that makes sense. You know, you're not a kind person because you tell people, yo, you know I'm a kind person, you know I'm a kind person. You're a kind person because you hold the door for not the invisible person, but you hold the door for the person when no one else is watching, all right? And they also come back to a thing about being, you could say, building your own character. You could say, like, you want to do things, this is coming into a bit longer video, you want to do things when people aren't watching. You do them for yourself to build evidence that that is who you are and further make that who you are. So you want to be a kind person. When no one's watching, pick up the garbage. You probably wouldn't do it unless someone was watching. So just tell yourself, I'm going to do it because I want to be that kind of person. All right. That last one probably is worth another video. It's about building the right habits of who you want to be, regardless if someone else is watching. That was a lot in that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was cool. Anyways, if I keep this intro any longer, then you guys are probably gonna click off. So let me know down in the comments anything about this video, anything that came to mind, anything that jumped into mind, anything that was like, yo, I have this in this example down below, because it's all about the comments. I might have to start doing short form content where I cut these up and turn it into short form, because low key the growth is kind of slow on YouTube, but it's satisfying. It's really satisfying. It's really rewarding to see a few people comment down below, and I know this is actually useful. And I mean, like, it's great to hear this from my friends. They're like, yo, Mateo, great job. I really like this video, really helped me. Or like, great job, I really like this video. You know, I didn't think about it like that before. Anyways, but to hear from another stranger, to know I'm having an impact on the other side of the world and have that ripple effect of like a butterfly, means the world. So if you like this video, peace out. I want to also make more content that's just not like this. This is obviously like the philosophy side, the theory, the thinking side of content. I also just want to be, you know, this is the thinking side of me. I also just want to be the goofy guy who I am. You know what I mean? But all right, peace out. I want to make more content, like more content of this and other kinds. All right, yeah, bro, I kept this intro going too long, but you know, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. But I want to make some magic content. Magic. All right, peace.